Kendo Podcast episode 161. In this episode, I want to send you a message not to quit Kendo. Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from KendoGuide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit KendoGuide.com for more Kendo information and how to support KendoGuide.com. Welcome to Kendo Podcast episode 161. Before I forget, I'm going to start 2 new courses for beginners. So please stay tuned. I will start them at Patreon really soon. So please stay tuned. And okay, now I want to send a message. Don't quit Kendo. The people quit for because of the a lot of reasons. So I don't want to say whatever the reason, don't quit. Because sometimes it's because you don't like your teacher or things happen. So but Kendo itself is really because I like it. I only see good part of Kendo maybe, but I truly believe that anyone can do Kendo. So I don't want you to quit because you cannot do some techniques or some things that you cannot do. Or like because you failed exams, your Shodan exam or Nidan exam or whatever the exams you fail, I don't want you to quit. It's easy to quit, and I'm gonna share my story that I wanted to quit Kendo a few times in my life. I've been doing Kendo since I was 7. I wanted to quit Kendo a few times. One, I didn't want to go because the training was hard. I was probably just studying Kendo and I was like 8 or 9 years old, I think. I didn't want to go because I wasn't good at it. I understand how it feels like if you're not good at it. But I'm glad my parents didn't let me to quit Kendo. It's just I look back now, I'm still doing Kendo. I'm talking to you like this, so I'm really glad I didn't quit. And the other time is I was really good when I was junior high school, and a lot of high schools around my area, they wanted me to go to their high school because if I go there, the Kendo club will be good. That's their hope. So they wanted me to go to their school, but I said no. And then after that, of course, if I don't go to these strong, those high schools strong in Kendo, I'll get weaker and weaker because I don't really train much as they do, right? And no one really has interest in me anymore because I'm not good anymore. Only teachers who didn't care how good I was in Shiai, they were still my teachers, right? So those who just came to me because they want me for their high school, they just walk away, right? So I found out that, that was I saw cold side of Kendo world. If you're no good anymore, I'm not going to talk to you anymore, kind of thing, So I know there's I know how those people are treated. If you're not good, you don't treat good. They don't treat you good. So I know that part of world as well. And of course, I was good and they were treating me good. And I know that side of the world too. So I have experience in both sides actually. And then I actually quit Kendo, high school Kendo. I was belonged I belonged to Kendo club at high school, but I quit because I couldn't stand that anymore. And because I went to public school. Public school is wasn't very good. I wasn't very strong in Kendo, so they don't train much, and I go, okay, it's no point going. But as I was still going to dojo, so I participated in tournaments at dojo tournament as a dojo member, right? And I lost. I kept losing. I didn't like that either, so I went back to Kendo club at high school, and then I started doing Kendo. But anyway, if you don't quit, and if I look back, I'm glad I didn't quit Kendo. But I know some people want to quit Kendo because of they didn't succeed in something. But there's always you can learn from Kendo. The one thing is that I'm glad that my sensei didn't say anything about me quitting Kendo, because he was always kind of be there without saying much to me. If I want to do practice, he gives me training. If I don't practice, he didn't say anything. And through this teacher-student relationship, I had I felt like I was taken care of because it was my decision, and he supports me however whatever I decided to do. So I think that's a part of Kendo. If you don't want to do it, you can't make people do certain things, right? As Kendo, you want to strike them, you want to strike your opponent, but you cannot make your opponent to open a target for us. You have to control your opponent, so you're gonna see they will make an opening for you because you control. I'm not saying my sensei was controlling me. Maybe he was. I don't know, but you can't make people do things. We know that through Kendo. So sometimes you have to wait until they realize. People realize by themselves, and sometimes it's very hard, very frustrating because they don't realize certain things. But then you gotta wait. It's easy to tell them what's wrong, and then even we tell them what's wrong, what they're doing wrong, until they really realize it by themselves, they don't see they are doing it wrong. So they think I'm saying something wrong, So, or they don't. It doesn't really sink in, So, and then the one thing I want to say is all the people around me, they were good. Those people who were good at Kendo. They quit. They don't. I don't think they. We had my generation, when I was primary school student, we probably had about 150 students doing Kendo at the dojo. And I only see maybe like 3 people still doing Kendo at this very day. 3 people out of 150. Where did they go? I don't know, So maybe they still do Kendo, but I don't really see them anymore. So I don't really know. But very few people still do Kendo. And if they don't do Kendo, they don't realize how like if you quit climbing up the mountain halfway through, you don't know what it looks like from the way up above, right? Scenery. You don't see that. You don't get to see how it looks like, the sceneries from there. So I want you to keep going. If you're thinking to quit Kendo, maybe you need a rest. I don't know. Maybe you need a rest. Take a rest. And if you feel like you're going back to Kendo, you can go back to Kendo, you know. But I really appreciate those people who came back to Kendo after years of resting. I had few students who came back recently after people have their own lives to deal with, so they can quit Kendo for a while, and then whatever the reason was, but they came back. That counts. So I can share something that I learned through Kendo with them when they want to. Again, I don't want to push my experience to them. This is what I experienced, and this is my Kendo is. I don't want to rub that into their face. But if they're there, as long as they're there, and as long as they do Kendo, I can share some experience, my experience with them. So I think it's very important to, whatever the reason, you need a break from Kendo. Have a break, have a break, and then come back anytime you want. That's what I always tell them. If you need a rest, that's fine. A lot of people have a lot of things going on, in their lives. So if you have to stop Kendo, that's fine. And the important thing is we keep that door open to them, and whenever they come back, we welcome them. So I think that's what the way should be. The way of the sword, the way should be. So a lot of people are different at different ages. I was probably different from when I was younger. I don't think the way I think is different now. I get older and, hopefully wiser. I didn't speak English at all, but now I can speak some. So, things change. So if you think you're not good at Kendo now, you don't know in 5 years how you're going to turn out, right? If you quit right now, you never know. If you keep going, you have a chance to change. And how to change? If you have a teacher, just ask for teachings. Just Kendo is the repetition of the same thing, and there's no secret in there. You just do the same thing over and over and over, and then if you don't quit, you'll get result. But I know you cannot train as Japanese people because its environment is different. If you started Kendo in your adulthood, you should be doing Kendo differently from Japanese kids, right? So that's why I'm trying to have this program so I can help you to improve your Kendo. But anyway, that's another story. So I don't want you to quit. If you have some problem, if you have issue Kendo-wise, let me know. That's why I'm doing this. If you hear this podcast, leave some messages in comments or on Facebook. There's open, comment section there. You can come to kendoguy.com website, or you can join patreon.com/Kendo for life. I'm always here, right? So yeah, if you have any problem Kendo wise, let me know, and if I can help you, I will help you, but just don't quit. All right, thank you for listening, and if you're in US, have a great Memorial Day. I'll see you in the next podcast. I would like to send special thanks to patrons for their constant support through patreons.com/Kendo for life.